Welcome to our Game Week 12 team reveal, / transfers, / captains, and maybe we'll egg someone at the end for our Game Week 11 forfeit.
So everyone had that horrible decision whether to spend points or to use their free hit this week due to the Arsenal City game being out. I decided to do my free hit, whereas my husband decided to take the 8 points. Different situations though, I have my wildcard still to fall back on, whereas my husband doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, my only concern with the free hit this week is towards the end of the season when Champions League and cups and bits and pieces are going on, there's going to be teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City. They're going to miss games, and it's going to be, as my eyes, going to be much harder game weeks that will need the free hits. I'm going to try and save it now. It does cost me 8 points. May give you a bit of an advantage on next week's forfeit, but I think later in the season you'll pay for that.
Yeah, and it's quite intriguing to see what's going to pay off or not, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on, show when your free hit team then.
So I'm keeping with Pope, Trippier and Dyer, quite happy with those. I found it quite tricky with defenders this year, as last season I found 4 or 5 defenders easy that I wanted in my team. But this year it's kind of had to look a little bit further into. So I've decided to go with Cher and Castagna, where I can switch and change those. Okay, well, so in midfield, I've gone for Mount, who's holding up Chelsea at the moment and doing very well. Salah, hopefully, is coming back in form. So he's had 4 goals in the last 2 games. So I thought it would be interesting to bring him in for my free hit. Then I've gone for Trossard, as I reckon there'll be 1, maybe 2, a couple of goals in there for Brighton. And then my last space is Anthony from United, or I'm going to go for Billing for Bournemouth, who are against Southampton. So I do think Anthony is the better player out of the 2, but United have Spurs, so it's a lot of difficult game week. So I think I'm going to bench him and put Billing on. And up front, Kane and Tony stay, and I've gone for Firmino. So I know there's that risk with Darwin, but I think Klopp will be absolutely crazy not to play Firmino. So what are the changes that you've made?
Okay, well, I took out Reece James, obviously he's injured. Although I wanted to keep Maddison, getting the 5th yellow card was a nightmare. So he's come out, and I've taken De Bruyne out. Now, I've actually brought Salah in actually as a transfer. I think after 3 goals in the Champions League and the goal against City, if we've got the Salah we expect back, brilliant. It also means that I can spend some money elsewhere. I'll probably bring in next week when Arsenal have got the Southampton game. I'll still have Jesus on the bench, which means I can either bring in an Odegaard, a Martinelli, or Saka in that midfield as opposed to De Bruyne. I've also brought in Mount. Didn't realise you were doing that, but we've both got Mount now. At the back, though, we've gone differently. I wasn't a big fan of another Newcastle defender. Yeah. I've already got Castagna, so there was no point doing that. So for my idea, it was either a Brighton defender, like a Webster or a Veltman, or going for a Crystal Palace defender, like a Guille, or who I have gone for is Joe Anderson, which is one of the players I spoke about last week, which I thought was a great investment because they've got not only a good game this week, but a good game going forward. And at 4.5 million, you can bung him on the bench if it's not a good game for that week.
And who have you gone for captain?
Salah. Who have you captained?
Not sure.
No. Okay. So if, like my wife, you're undecided on who to captain, we've got a few suggestions for you.
So one of the names I would put forward is Mount. So against Brentford, I expect Brentford might get a sneaky goal, but that's not obviously going to affect Mount. So let's do that.
It's clean sheet points, really.
Yeah, absolutely true. So who do we want to put forward for me?
Okay, well, I'm going to put forward Kane. And actually, I'm going to put Son in the same bracket.
Against United, though.
United have got better, don't get me wrong, under Ten Hag, but I do think that Kane scored in the last 5 games. Yeah. Son came on and scored that hat-trick a few game weeks ago and started to look so much brighter. If those two are linking up, I don't think any defence can stop them, let alone the United defence, which is still average at best.
Now let's look at the Liverpool players. So Salah, Darwin, Firmino.
Yeah, well, Salah's the standout choice. That's who I'm going to go for. And I think if you've got Salah in your team, whether it be a free hit or a normal team, I would generally go that route, only because Firmino and Darwin are likely to share minutes to a degree. Although saying that, with Jota out and Diaz out, I think there's a good chance Klopp may play Firmino as a number 10 with Darwin in front of him.
Exactly. So yeah, they're going to. I think the formation's going to change around for both of them to go in this week.
So out of those three, who would you put your money on?
Out of the three Liverpool, it is safer to go Salah, but Firmino, he's got more to prove, hasn't he? But it all depends. If he's going to be out of position, out of his kind of comfort zone, then is that going to affect him going forward?
I don't think it will, because he normally plays as a number 9, but that game when he that Salah scored last week, he played it just behind Salah, and it worked really well. I mean, you didn't get any returns that week, but there's no reason why you couldn't have done quite easily. Any other suggestions? I'll let you done. That's you out.
That's me.
So if you haven't got any Spurs players or Liverpool players, Chelsea players, you've got all these. Do you know what I mean? But if you haven't got any of those, we can't help. Right, we've covered most of the transfers that we want to talk about. The Trossards and Mounts, and even Salahs. Do you know what I mean? And to a degree, some of the defenders worth considering. Whether it be Brighton, Crystal Palace, Leicester, whatever. Now, there's one player we have missed out, and that's Dominic Solanke. So if you're looking for a cheap third striker to sit on your bench some weeks and play other weeks, Dominic Solanke is your man. You touched on it with Philip Billing, but he's been the assist man to Solanke. And with playing against Southampton, which is more or less a derby game, I think Solanke may score big this week. So if you've got a space for him, I would put him in, especially if you're free hitting. If you're free hitting this week, put Solanke in your team.
Okay.
My wife didn't.
Now let's go to our game week 11 forfeit.
I'm really looking forward to this one because I got an awful feeling it's me again.
I'm not sure, but you're sure, are you?
I'm fairly confident it's me. Right, so now we're going to the forfeit. We're doing classic egg over the head forfeit. We're going to mix it up a little bit. I think it's quite close, but we're going to do one egg per 5 points different. So if loser loses by 5 points, it's one egg, or 3 points, or 2 points, etc., etc. 6 points is 2 eggs, up to 10. Obviously, 10 to 15 is 3 eggs, and higher is higher and higher. So we're going to go. I've got a funny feeling it's me, but I'm hoping it's pretty close. So we're only going to get like 1 or 2 eggs, but we'll find out in a minute. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. 15. Brilliant. So that's 3. Great. That could have gone a lot better, couldn't it?
I think it's perfect.
This is going to suck. I'm not looking forward to this. I realise I'm not looking forward to this one little bit.
I'm quite happy it's 3. I wasn't really expecting that.
No, I'm not overly happy. I'll be honest. I've only just got the last week's Sunday out of my hair.
Hey, it took me 3-4 days to get custard out of my ears. I'm not even joking. It dried. It was bad.
Okay, well, trying to get the egg not on my clothes.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, be quicker.
Sorry.
Oh, that's not nice. Oh, what part of not get it all over my clothes? You know.
Oh, that was hard. Sorry.
Oh, that was a brick, not an egg. We are still after forfeit suggestions, so please comment below. And for more videos like this, please like and subscribe.